Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. Story of the day at opening day of Dew Tour Copper was the Dirty W.
You could barely see the start structure.
Yeah, snow blowing in off the top of the pipe and over into the pipe, creating somewhat of a snow-nado.
That's from the Dew Tour broadcast during the wind hold between men's and women's ski halfpipe qualifiers. When the weather broke, two-time Olympic gold medalist David Weiss qualified first, ahead of Canada's Noah Baumann and New Zealand's Nico Porteous. Ladies got started by 2:15, where China's Eileen Gu took first. A pair of Americans, Hannah Fallhaber and Britta Sigourney, made the finals. Snowboard slopestyle qualifiers, they got bumped to tomorrow. Comfortably making the ski halfpipe finals was two-time Olympian Aaron Blunk, a Colorado kid who's back in the pipe after a near-death training crash last year. Krystal 93 correspondent Matt Renoux of 9 News got the chance to sit down with Blunk.
He's come back and maybe is seen better than he's ever with this new attitude about life that, I'd like to get back to the Olympics. I'd like to do well at the Olympics, but I, of all people, know there are worse things than performing well at the Olympics.
Blunk qualified at 6th spot today, one of 6 Americans making Saturday's final. A fresh coat of snow is making Copper look appealing on the Dew Tour broadcast, but the latest lodging data shows holiday crowds were coming anyway. Winter lodging revenue is up 43% over 2 years ago, up 125% over last year. You can expect hotels to be 11% busier than the record-setting season in 2019. The saga of Ullr condoms and COVID continued at last night's Breckenridge Town Council meeting.
Jeffrey Bergeron, also known as Biff America, has shown the whole world that Breckenridge is not an inviting place to people who have chosen natural immunity or ones who simply decide not to get the vaccine for reasons that are solely their own. You may think I'm exaggerating when I say the whole world. However, this video has spread all over social media.
That was Summit native Julia Biddle chastising Bergeron for a comment he made at Ullr Fest, saying unvaccinated people should take condoms because they should not reproduce. Longtime local Doc PJ's been handing out condoms at Ullr Fest for years. The video has been shared by InfoWars and Red Voice Media. Town of Frisco is partnering with the state on a second workforce project, this one at the large and underused Colorado Workforce Center on 6th and Galena. Mayor Hunter Mortensen.
Close to Main Street, on the bike path, on the bus route, totally flat, completely buildable.
Frisco has already been working with CDOT for housing on 7th and Granite. Estimated project cost on Galena is $13 to $21 million. The town hopes to buy that property by May. This week, on the State of Summit, we're teaming up with Aspen Journalism at the Colorado River Water Users Association Conference.
It was kind of a way to protect the upper basin and protect our ability to develop in the future. So this is kind of the law of the river. It's sort of the backdrop to the whole conference.
That's Aspen Journalism Managing Editor Heather Sackett explaining a century-old water use compact for 7 western states, including Colorado, that's based on water that was never there in the first place.
They estimated the river's flows at anywhere from 15 to 16 million acre feet. And what they found was that was a super wet period, which is kind of an anomaly. And now, as we know with climate change, that river flows are basically down to somewhere around 12.4 million acre feet. So that amount of water no longer exists.
The West looks nothing like it did when the compact was written. But one change could be saving water in Colorado.
What we're seeing is a slow kind of urbanization, especially in Colorado, where something which was once an irrigated field is slowly turning into developments, residential housing developments, which actually use less water.
Issues like climate change and tribal water rights are hot topics at the conference, and both get muddied by politics.
How do you provide fairness in this dwindling river system?
Tune in again next Wednesday for the State of Summit on Krystal 93. In sports, the Nuggets play the Timberwolves tonight at 7. And in local sports, the Breck Vipers face the Vail Yeti at home this Friday for rivalry night. Game time's 7:30. Summit High School sports are back on Friday too. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.